What's up everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be trying to get that old crusty motor out of this Fox body. So I'm going to show you the steps, what I have to do, and hopefully I don't drown in coolant. So I'm going to play the intro real quick and we're going to get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to try to get this old 302 out of the car today. So that's the plan, that's the game plan. Hopefully it works. I gave myself all day. Today's Saturday, so I gave myself all day to get this thing done, and we're going to see if I can actually do it, because I know there's a lot of stuff to unhook. I'm getting rid of the air pump and all the unnecessary things, and then I'm going to try to label everything to make sure that I put it back into the right spot. So it's definitely some stuff to get done, and hopefully I can get it done today. If I don't, I'll just go into it tomorrow, and I'll get it done this weekend regardless. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I have like a game plan of what I'm going to do first. So the first thing I'm going to do is drain all the coolant out, so I'm not drowning. I don't want to get coolant everywhere, so it's like on my mind. I keep thinking about it. So that's the first thing we're going to start with, and then we're going to unhook the clutch cable and take the bell housing off. And after that, it's going to be taking the upper intake manifold off and pulling all those vacuum lines away. And from there, I'm going to kind of see and decide exactly what I want to unhook first. But so far, that's what I'm going to do. So first thing we're going to do is take off get the coolant out of the car. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to unbolt the lower radiator hose and put that into a bucket. And that's that. So I'm going to do that real quick and I'll show you. Why? What is this? How does that even work? I hate coolant. Just come out. Oh gosh, you suck. Okay, so I got the coolant out. It's kind of nasty. It's pretty old. So there's just a plug underneath here. There it is. I'll circle it in the video, but there's just a plug, and I unplugged it, and all the nasty coolant came out. And as you saw, I ended up getting hit by it a lot. So now let's get the clutch cable out and the bell housing. Okay, so we're on to the next step. I got the bell housing out, and so there was 6 bolts. So this one was in, and those ones on both sides. So bell housing's out, and the starter is out, and the starter was super annoying because there's a 10mm bolt right here, and while it's back up in there, it's a pain. Whoever's done it, I probably should have got the bell housing off and then did it, and then it would have been easier. So you live and you learn, I guess. The starter was back in here, and there was just this little tiny slot to slide it through and actually unscrew that one bolt to the wire, and it was so hard, but regardless, I got it out and it wasn't too bad. This guy right here is what you have to unscrew or unbolt from the starter, and it comes off. It was really tight, probably because it hasn't been taken off in years and years and years, but it did come off eventually. There's a dust cover on the bell housing that I took off as well, and then I just slid the clutch cable through, and it was very simple. Alright, and so when you're taking off your clutch cable, there is a C-clip that goes on it, like actually it's back here. It goes on here, and you just pry it off with a screwdriver, and it's real easy, and it just comes right off. And we're going to drain the oil, and then we're gonna move up top and take off the manifold and some other stuff like that. So we're gonna just keep on going. Okay, one thing I wanted to show. So I drained the oil, and then I pulled out the sending unit and I put it in this nice little baggie. So now everything is ready to go underneath here. All I gotta do is undo the motor mounts, but I'm gonna wait till I unhook everything up top and then unhook the motor mounts and go forward. So now let's get into let's get into the manifold. I just want to point out that if you're not getting grease on every single part of your body and crevice, you're not doing it right. Alright, so quick update on what I've got done so far, and it's pretty substantial actually. Well, at least I think so. I'm probably going at snail's pace compared to some people, but it's getting done. That's all that matters. So here, check it out. So I got the shroud off, I got the fan off, I got the cold air intake off, and I guess that's all I've done so far. I feel like it's a lot, even though it's not. So, okay, next thing we're gonna do is take the throttle body and then the upper intake manifold off, and then disconnect all these vacuum lines and label them so I know what's going on. And the second thing is taking off the air conditioner and taking off the power steering and the alternator, and then marking everything so I know what to do afterwards. But that's the plan of attack now. It's coming along slowly but surely. All this stuff is pretty simple. I mean, the shroud's just 2 bolts, and then the 4 bolts for the fan just came right off. Then I pulled the belt off with 18mm wrench and pulled it off. Oh, and then I took off the upper radiator hose, and from there, and that just pulls right off, and that's about it so far. Here's all the pieces. So that's the shroud, there's the fan. I don't know if I'm gonna do electric fan yet. I don't know, it's more money that I don't want to spend just now. But so that's all the stuff so far. There's the cold air intake, and we're gonna just keep moving along. As you guys probably just saw in the time lapse, I got pretty far. So I got the upper intake manifold off, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is, because there's so much crap that is hooked up to it. I didn't know how much smog crap there is. Oh, smog, or air pumps and weird vacuum lines, and holy crap, that was stupid. But let me just show you what I did. So let's get in here. So I got the upper intake manifold off, I got the throttle body off, and the throttle linkage off, and the EGR stuff, which is all going away anyway, but I labeled it just to make sure. So I got my TPS, or idle air control. This is my throttle bracket that I didn't label yet. This is my TPS and EGR that I'm getting rid of. And there's the upper intake manifold. I didn't you know what, I got so irritated with some of these vacuum lines for the air pump and stuff that I cut them. This one just plugs right in, so I didn't have to do anything, but this one I just cut, that goes straight to the air pump because it was making me crazy. And then the line that comes off the vacuum tree in behind it, I was able to pull that one off too, but god, that was annoying. And then so this guy goes to the back of your manifold, and so does, there's another one that I don't see right now, but it's here oh, this one. That isn't connected to anything on my car, so I don't know. But this was connected to the back, and this was connected to, that red one was connected to the back as well. And so this, I think, goes to your PCV valve, and this goes straight to your air pump, but air pump stuff's going away, and so is the PCV stuff, because we're doing catch cans. And oh, and then there's one vacuum line that goes to the vacuum tree right there, and then there's 6 bolts that hold on the intake manifold. So there's 2 up here, 2 in the middle, and then 2 in the back, and I'll show you on the actual manifold. Okay, so the manifold came off like this. So if we're looking at the car, this is what it looked like. So you have 2 bolts there, 2 bolts in the center, and then 2 bolts in the back, which are kind of hard to get to. And then, so then this is the back. So this goes to the car, and this is your distribution block, or part of it, something like that. So this goes to your vacuum tree. Then there's 2 fittings right there, and that's the one that's broken off on mine, and then the red one that goes to the harness. This goes to, what does that go to? Oh, this goes to your BAP, your BAP sensor. Oh my, cool. Okay, that's, all right, let's not talk about that. And this goes to your vacuum, or your air pump, and this is to your, I think it's PCV valve, but I'm not 100% sure. And so that's all the stuff in the back that you gotta disconnect before you can pull it off. And then this is where the throttle body was in your, what is it called? Your spacer. So here is the spacer I pulled off, and I don't know what this is, and I'll probably put it in the video, but it came off and it has one connection to it that you have to unplug. So you unplug the connection, and then there's a vacuum port on the back of it that you unplug as well, and then that comes off. So then the throttle body, you have your throttle cable that you pull off there, then you have your TPS on the top that you pull off, 2 screws, and then this goes, then your idle air control, 2 screws that comes off, and then this goes to the filler neck, and it just pops right off. And that's how you get that apart. I know that was like a lot, but that's how you get that all apart. So that's where we're at right now. I'm gonna put a towel over that, and then I'm gonna start taking off the accessory drive. And once the accessory drive is off, I think we're getting real close to pulling the engine out. Okay, so I'm gonna try to show you everything I unbolted, but there's so much electrical. Holy crap. I'm gonna get rid of all of it because it's all mostly smog pump stuff. But let me just try to show you what I did. It's almost ready to come out, so let me show you. So let me try to show you what I did. So there's multiple hoses that go to this air pump or the vacuum pump. So what I had to do, I took this line off, and there's that line, and then there's a charcoal canister, and there's 2 vacuum lines that run to it. There's kind of, can't really see it, but there's 2 that run to it, and I pulled both of those off. And then I labeled them the charcoal canister, because I'm pretty sure that's it. And then there's another one that I'm not seeing. So then there's this one, and then there's this one. And then there's that hose down there, that goes to the charcoal canister as well, and I unhooked that. So then over here, off of this tube that goes has coolant in it, there's 2 hoses, this hose and this hose, and you pull it off of the back, and then it's freed up, so now you can do it. And then so you have your salt and pepper shakers on the harness as well, and so I already got them out of the way, but there's those 2 and then those 2, and there's salt and pepper shakers because they're white and black. So that goes to your whole fuel injector harness that goes on top of the engine. And so I unplugged that, and that I can tear that apart and it should be okay. All right, so then let's keep moving on. And so I took off the AC, obviously it's not there anymore, and then I took off the power steering pump and I set it on a stool. And that's gonna work for now. All right, that's just gonna have to work. Sorry if I'm running through this kind of fast, but I'm just trying to show you everything I've done so far because it's just been so much. And here's the AC lines, I took them off. There's no R134 in there, so it didn't really matter anyway. So, and then the other thing is there's right here, I think it's your air intake temperature sensor. So I took that out, and that's over here in this pile. And then the distributor, the TFI, is over here, and I took that out as well. Here's that intake air temperature sensor, I think it is. So I took that out, and that's right in the front. So now there's electrical line that runs from there, and there's 2 brackets, one on this side of the ground that I unbolted already, and then there's one down there that I have to unbolt. And then I gotta the fuel lines, I gotta pull those things off, and I think the engine will be ready to pull off or pull out. So I'm gonna put those 2 brackets, the one there and the one there, on the cylinder heads, and hopefully it should just pick up and pull out. Okay, so I didn't get that much more done. All I did was that bracket I was talking about, I got the bracket off, and then when I was trying to get the fuel lines off, I hit my arm really bad. Don't know if you can see that, but there's a massive monkey bump on there.
And I only cried for 20 minutes.
So that was a deterrent, and then I couldn't get the fuel lines apart with that quick disconnect. It's not quick at all. It's actually the slowest part of this whole thing. But so that's as far as I got. I'm gonna get some food real quick, and then maybe I'll come back and see if I can get those stupid quick disconnects off. But after the disconnects, I just gotta take the hood off, and the engine comes right out. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get it done tonight. Okay, so I took my break, and then I came back trying to be like calm, very calm, getting the quick disconnect for the fuel lines off, and took a deep breath, tried it. Hour and a half later, I finally got them apart. I have the quick disconnect tool, and I worked and worked and worked, and finally got those things to pop off. I hate that quick disconnect tool. Woo! So, but I got it apart. That's all that matters, really, is I got it apart. So I got that apart. So now I'm just gonna put those mounts on to the header, or the heads, and the mount for the heads where you can actually hoist the engine up from, and then we're gonna pull the engine out, and then it'll be done, and we accomplished our mission for the day. So we're getting to that right now. I'm gonna put those things on the header bolts, and we're gonna get to it. So my friend Justin is coming over with his extra engine stand. So he's coming over, he's gonna help me get the hood off, and then we're gonna hoist the engine out, put it on the stand, and I don't know, just be done. So this is the quick disconnect tool, and there's different kinds, but it's all the same thing. What it does is you push this thing up into here. Let me show you. Okay, so here's a quick disconnect I didn't disconnect. So what you do is you take your quick disconnect tool, you put it over, this is gonna be hard to do, put it over the line, and then you press in. So then you press in, and you're supposed to press in to a spring, and then you can pull it out from here where my middle finger is. So then you pull it out, and it's supposed to be nice and easy. It takes like 5 seconds. It doesn't. It takes way more than 5 seconds. So what you do is you press it in there for like 4 hours, and then once it won't press in like this one, because I tried to get this one off, but once it won't press in anymore and the spring is like all the way in, what I did is I took a screwdriver, I put a flathead screwdriver right in here and pushed in it, and it popped it off. And that's probably the wrong way to do it, but it got it out. I'm replacing these anyway, so I don't really care, but it took like 5 hours to do it, and it made me so upset. So that was my TED Talk. Thank you for listening. It's apart, so we're gonna get this motor out. Thanks for watching. Okay, it's officially nighttime. I got the hood off, got the motor mount bolts off, or nuts off. I got the motor engine harness hoist parts out. I'm tired, okay? So, it's ready to come out, so I'm gonna get the engine hoist ready and then tie it all up, and hopefully my buddy Justin gets here fast enough and we can actually do this. Maybe a couple Coronas later and it'll be out. So hopefully that works out. So let me just show you what's going on. We got the engine hoist, jack, pulley, I don't know what they're called, okay? So I got those things on both sides, and then I got the 2 motor mount bolts out. So okay, there's where the motor mount goes. There's 2 big bolts, or nuts, these guys. I pulled those off, and then as you can see, the hood is off and it is residing over there. So it is just ready to get pulled out. Everything is off, everything is away, it's ready to go. So yeah, I'm gonna get the engine hoist down, we're gonna get Justin here, and we're gonna pull this bad boy out. He's coming with the extra engine stand. The extra engine stand, so we're gonna get this thing out. So we'll put a time lapse on, and hopefully it looks good. we did it. I am wrecked, but we got the engine out. It's over there. It's ready to get taken apart, and all the stuff I need to be put on the new engine and vice versa, whatever. It's gonna get put together, and I got it together. So engine's out. It was pretty hard. I mean, the pulling it was easy. It's just a lot of work. I think I've started at like 10 o'clock, and it's like 10 o'clock now, so 12 hours. So I'm wrecked, but we got it out, and that's all that matters, really. So I think the next video, I don't know what the next video is going to be about, but next Sunday is me going to be cleaning everything and making sure everything's clean, and then the weekend after that will be the new motor going in. So that's kind of the timeline right now. But I just want to say, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for making it to the end. There's a lot that was going on. Thank you for the support. We're just gonna keep grinding. We're gonna keep this motor in, and we're gonna make all the horsepower. And then once the turbo's in, we're gonna make we're gonna go 9s. That's all that matters. And my friend that was here, Justin, that was helping me do this, we're gonna wreck his WRX. That's all that matters. So thank you again for watching. If you made it to the end, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and comment something. Don't matter what it is, just comment it. It's good for you. Okay guys, I'll check you next time. Wait, check you. I'll catch you next time. I'll catch you next time. I'm tired. I know I filmed the end already, but I looked in the mirror and I'm all grease. Look at this. Look at this. I know I was talking crap earlier about I was talking crap earlier about like real men get dirty and crap, but this is excessive. Holy crap. Look, it's everywhere. This is gonna be like the 3rd shower today. Alright, now we're done.